Hello and welcome, and thank you so much for joining me this morning. So we're going to be doing a really quite a lovely focused breath practice this morning. So we are going to just use the very, very basic of the breath work initially, which is just observing the breath, which I personally find to be one of the most useful. There's all these fancy pranayama practices available to us, but stripping it right back to just being aware of breathing is super, super good for us. It really does help to get the mind focused as well as calm. So we'll begin by just finding a seated position that works for us. And I'd like to just close your eyes or perhaps just lower your gaze. And just initially start to think about the way you've arranged your body. So like a little body scan. So if we take our awareness to the top of the head and just let that awareness travel downwards and just feel into your head, your neck, your shoulders. And if any little bits of movement need to happen as you kind of move through the body scan, just allow them to happen. A little shrugging of shoulders or a little circling of the spine, tucking of chin, all those things. Just let them emerge. So just feeling down into your shoulders, into your arms, into your hands, and into your chest and your tummy, and the whole of your spine. And then just bring the awareness all the way down into your legs. So the whole of your body gets a little moment of attention, a little pocket of attention there. So we're going to start to think about stilling the body. So if you found that you were moving a little bit, just allow those movements to come to an end. And all I want you to do now is just try to align your head over your rib cage, over your pelvis. So these instructions aren't always easy, by the way. So a lot of the physical yoga practice is designed to help you sit comfortably for longer periods of time. So you've got to kind of do a bit of both. But let's try our very best to find that alignment. Head sitting over the rib cage, sitting over the pelvis. Okay, so I want you to bring your attention to your nose. And I want you to observe the coolness of the air that moves in through the nostrils. And then when you breathe out, just notice how that breath, that air is slightly warmer as it travels back out through the nostrils. So we're breathing in through the nose, noticing the cool air. And then we're breathing out through the nose, noticing the slightly warmer air. And I want you to simply focus on that for the next few rounds of breath. Don't be worried if your mind wanders. This is all part of the practice. We are practicing. We may never be perfecting. So if your mind wanders, just draw it back to breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Let's take one more round of breath with the awareness on the nostrils. Lovely. So we're now going to move our focus to our throat. So as you breathe in, yes, the breath moves up through the nose, then it drops down over the throat. So bring your awareness to the throat as you breathe in. And then again, as you breathe out. And see if you can just be aware of the sensation of air, of breath, moving past your throat. And again, if you catch your mind wandering, without judgment, just gently draw it back in And bring your focus to the breath, moving past your throat. One more breath here. And now, so we know the breath moves in through the nostrils, it moves past the throat, and then it parts and separates and fills each lung. So in your mind, can you bring your awareness to your lungs and just perhaps visualize or imagine or sense the breath moving down and parting to be split between the two lungs. And again, just gently encourage your mind to come back to that awareness, to the breath in the lungs, if your mind wanders. And we're going to take one more breath with our awareness on the lungs. And if you closed your eyes, I'm going to gently open them. I'm going to just encourage you to take any movements now. So if you've sat on the floor and you've crossed your legs, it might feel really nice to stretch them out. If you want to, you might want to just lift the arms up, stretch them out, just move in any way that feels good. So after being still, just see if the body then wants to rebound. It might want to move a little bit. So that very, very simple breath practice is an excellent start to dharana, which means concentration. So we are literally concentrating, we're taking all our focus onto the breath, which hopefully has a beautiful calming effect. Okay, so we're going to come back to seated, or just back to a position where you're sitting nice and tall. And I'm going to just get us to move a little bit. And we're working on the neck and the chest and the shoulders. And when we move a little bit deeper into our breath awareness, we're basically using some of the muscles that we need to breathe. Okay, so we're going to take the right hand down to the floor beside us. If you're in a chair, you can just hold on to the base of your chair, the side of your chair. And we're going to take the left ear to the left shoulder. So what we're doing is we're just encouraging the stretch along these neck muscles here. Now, closing your eyes again and just breathing, you might be mindful that this feels can feel quite strong to some people. And if it feels helpful just to massage with your other hand, then please do. Just do what feels good. Good. We're going to bring that massaging hand down if you used it. And we're just going to lift this right arm all the way up to the sky, reach it high. And then we're going to lean into our left hand, or if you're on a chair, you're going to use your chair and you're going to take a little side stretch. So we're just opening up the whole of this upper side, this right side. And if you can, breathe into the spaces between each rib. Such a real lovely opening, lengthening sensation. Let's encourage this right arm, this right elbow to drop back. So we're really stretching across these intercostal muscles here. Good. We're going to take this upper arm, this right arm, and we're going to bring it across the body. So we might find a chair or a knee, and we're going to use that to just pull on. So drop your chin and just feel a little bit of a pull. And what you're doing is stretching, particularly this right shoulder, but you're getting kind of almost between the shoulder blades, but particularly on that right side. And then we're just going to sit tall. We're going to come into a twist, so we're still facing the left, but we've arranged head over heart over pelvis, and we're going to look to our left. This time, encourage your shoulders to drop down. Feel a little lift through your sternum. drawing in at the belly. Got a little helper here. Good. Now, when you come back to face forwards, leave the arm across the body, and I want you just to scoop it up. So now you're stretching a different place in that shoulder. Support that arm and breathe. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Good. So this left hand supporting here, lift that elbow up. Let your hand drop behind you. So now you're just drawing that right elbow back. And you feel the openness in your chest, in your armpits, and a beautiful stretch here as well, actually, in your tricep. Nice full breaths. Eyes can be closed. Next in breath, we're going to lift both arms straight up. And as we breathe out, take them out as wide as you can. And then just let them drop. And let the body kind of just fall into a little bit of softness. Shrug out those shoulders. Okay, we're going to take that all on the other side now. So it's the left arm that's extended or holding onto a chair. And it's the right ear that drops towards the right shoulder. Now we're stretching into the left side of our neck. Take some lovely deep breaths. Make sure you can breathe fully. And if it helps, you can use your hand just to gently massage. Beautiful. We're going to drop that hand back down so that we can lift this left arm straight up. And then we're going to reach over into our side stretch. So we're either leaning into that hand or that hand on the chair for us. And take a few moments to just acknowledge the openness on this upper side. And just imagine that breath filling up the space between each lung. Beautiful stretch. Can we lean back into that a little bit? Just opening up across the chest. Keep breathing. And then this upper arm is going to come across the body. It's going to find the chair or a knee. And we're just going to use it to give us a bit of leverage as we pull back, drop the chin. Just feel that stretch on that left side between the shoulder blades there. Keep breathing. And then we're going to release that effort by growing tall through the spine. And we're going to turn this into our twist. Looking over to the right, drop those shoulders down. Feel that lift through the heart, the drawing in at the belly. And breathe. All right, we're going to come back to forward facing, leaving that arm across the body, and then just scoop it up. So your left arm's reaching over to the right. Just breathe into the stretch. Good, keeping hold of that elbow, we lift it up. We drop the hand behind our neck, and we use that right arm to draw the left elbow back. Sitting tall, breathing fully. Good, let's take a breath in as we lift the arms up. And then on the out breath, reach them out and wide. And then just let it all go, guys. Shrug those shoulders, take any little wiggles or movements that feel good. If you're seated with your legs folded, you might want to stretch them out just for a little moment here. So some of these stretches, well, all of them are designed to kind of find a bit of releasing of tension in the body. But I appreciate that sometimes the stretches can feel really strong, particularly if you've got a lot of tension in your body. So again, it's one of those, you kind of have to do the work, but if you need to kind of just drop shoulders, let go of any effort, just for a moment. Okay, so we're going to come back to that breath attention. We're going to look at something called the 3-part breath. So again, finding your seated position, we're going to use our hands to kind of help us find certain areas. So when you've arranged the body, head over, rib cage over your pelvis, I want you to bring your hands to the lowest part of your ribs, highest part of your tummy. And just close your eyes again or lower your gaze and just start to breathe. Or, I know you're always breathing. Start to be aware of the breath. I want you to focus on the outward movement of the in-breath. So your hands might feel as though they're moving out. And then that inward movement as you breathe out. So the outward and inward movement of the breath. So this is your diaphragmatic breathing, really. This is your diaphragm muscle working to make that outward and inward movement of the breath. Now, if you were to take your hands just a little bit higher, so much more nestled into the ribs, and keep that awareness on the breath, hopefully you are aware of, again, that outward movement as you breathe in and the inward movement as you breathe out. But can you also detect a very subtle upward movement, kind of towards the end of the breath, perhaps? There's distinct movement up. Okay, so this is where your intercostal muscles begin to kick in as well as the diaphragm. Let's take one more breath here. Good. Now I want you just to shrug those shoulders and then keep the elbows low and take the hands to the collarbones, base of your neck and into your chest. We're going to carry on with that focus on the breath, but up in this higher place. So now hopefully we can still be aware of that outward movement of the in-breath. Inward movement of the out-breath, probably a little bit more subtle up here. Can you still feel the upward movement as well? And how about noticing how the neck muscles also support our breathing? Just keep the awareness here for the next few moments. Nice, last breath. Lovely. Drop those hands. Again, if you need to make any little movements, please make them. And what we're going to do is bring that focus back to the 3-part breath, but without our hands this time. So the hands are just going to rest comfortably. When we breathe in, take your awareness initially to the diaphragm, and then it moves up into the chest, and then up into the collarbones. And then when you breathe out, we breathe out collarbones, chest, tummy. Breathing in, tummy, chest, collarbones. Breathing out, collarbones, chest, tummy. So this is the 3-part breath. Can you keep your mind focused on the 3-part breath for the next few moments? So this is how we're going to end our practice, with this lovely focus on the breath. But if you're able to, I would really encourage you to lie down if you've got floor space. So I'll just give you time to make that adjustment if you are able to. If you're sitting, if you're still staying seated, just keep that beautiful flow of breath in your mind. If you come to the floor, just arrange the body so it's super comfy. So the idea is we don't want to make effort anymore. So we just let the legs roll out, we let the arms roll away. We just let ourselves be supported and comfy. And as we breathe into tummy, chest, collarbone, collarbone, chest, tummy. So there's that initial effort of the in-breath, followed by the more passive softening of the out-breath. Breathing into belly, chest, tummy, and breathing out, chest, collarbone, chest, tummy. And what I'd like you to try to do over the next few rounds of breath is to kind of almost blur the edges of those 3 parts. So the belly blurs with the chest, blurs with the collarbones. So it feels as though you're taking one full breath, which indeed you are. So it's like all 3 areas of breathing or being breathed. And particularly now, as we're moving into the rest part of the practice, we're going to try to make this less effort. So the breath will still be beautiful and full, but we're not working too hard to achieve that. So let the body feel as though it's being breathed. And if you've had success with blurring those 3 parts, could you then take it to the next step, where you feel as though the whole body is breathing in and expanding on the out-breath, in-breath, and the whole body is breathing out. So the whole body gently drops back. And this is where I want you to be for final relaxation. Just allowing the whole of the body to be breathed. Let go of any effort, and you might even feel you want to let go completely of breath awareness as well, if you feel that will be helpful for you. Just allow yourself to drop into complete relaxation in the next few moments. And if you are able to stay longer, particularly if you're doing this recording, please do. Those of you that need to bring yourself back and begin with the rest of your day, I just want you to simply breathe in fully, open your mouth, and sigh that breath out. Breathe in fully, and then put your hand on your heart, hand on your belly, and really press that breath out. Last time, breathe in. Open the mouth. Nice, stretch the arms out, stretch the legs, wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, circle ankles, circle wrists, take a full body stretch. So if you're lying down, you can really stretch out along the floor. And then really hug everything back in, the knees hugging into your chest. Take any little movements here, a little rock and roll, always feels super good on the back. And then when you're ready, lift yourself upright. Sitting tall, hopefully feeling, although calm, but also energized. Let's lift those arms up on a breath in. And draw the hands down to the heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today.